Okay, all set.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm looking at my notes. I have a lot of great notes, and so thank you so much for coming here as I'm stalling to find my notes. Thank you so much. And so the first thing I think that we're going over is the cycle drawing. So as we're all launching our 90-day run, Rachel has already put in scheduled post for this to go out. Rachel, are we doing it it goes out on Monday, correct?
Every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, the post will pop up, so make sure you watch for it. We're not going to tag you guys or anything, so watch for it.
Yes, whenever you do a scheduled post, you can't tag people. And so in a preparation for this 90-day run, we're doing that. And they have until, Rachel, 6 p.m. on Tuesday or 12?
Yeah, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, so that'll give us enough time to cut the names up, put it in a bowl, and draw it for our Tuesday night Zoom.
Yeah, so it's like it's more than 24 hours. So if you're looking for it and you see it, you can tag your team in the comments, but just know it's a scheduled post. And I want to first call out, I want to read everyone's name that put their name for the cycle tonight. And keep in mind, some of these people, they didn't cycle this week. And our goal is for you to be looking and to understand understand the back office to where you're this close to a cycle. So even if you didn't cycle and you put your name in there, we want to acknowledge you. So I took a picture before I started cutting the names. And so I want to give a shout out to Ann Sorensen. Woo! Denise Milano, woo! Lisa Bridges, woo! Debbie Morley, woo! Denise Johnson, woo! Michelle Rose, woo! Kayla, I can't even see you, but I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Anybody? I don't know, but go, woo! Jen Johnson, Bob Warfield, Linda Laporte, and Elizabeth Brown. And what I put on there, and just so you know for the future, I write your name and then I love it. So, and I put that in the comments tonight. I put, if I missed your name by some chance, I didn't love it, let me know in this below. And I hadn't gotten a notice. I did leave this straight from another call, but those are the people. But remember, even if you don't cycle, if you put your name in there that you looked, your name goes in the drawing. And so I have all the names that I cut inside my wonderful Atkins bar. I'm sure they're not completely healthy, but they are no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Real almond butter. So let's see who we're going to draw. All those names that I just put. If by some chance I missed your name, write that down in my comment where I put it, and I'll add you next week. But the person this week, the winner is Jen Jobson.
Jen Jobson. Hey, Rachele, can you explain, in case there's somebody that's new on here, how do they find how many cycles they earned from the previous week on Monday?
Sure. You go and you log in to your back office, and then you look at the tiles and they say how many. I don't know, Rachel, exactly what do you do to find exactly how many? Divide it by 40 or 60?
Yeah, I find, and you can totally do that, but sometimes until Wednesday, your customers can still roll in before the check tallies on Thursday. So I think the best way to do it is to go to your back office, like Rachele said. Then you're going to go into the team commissions, okay, the business and team commissions, and then you're going to click on your check, and then you can click on the breakdown of the check, where it shows team commissions, it shows your tabs, it shows your retail commissions, your coaching bonuses, your match. It kind of breaks down the whole check for you. Your team commissions is the cycle bonus. So if your team commissions, it goes line by line. It'll say 1, It'll break it down and show you the leftover, second line, third line, fourth. So if it shows you 4 lines, you earn 4 cycles. If it shows you 6 lines, you earn 6 cycles. Okay, so I think that that's the easiest way, or you can take your calculator out like you said and just divide the largest side by 600 and the smallest side by 400. You can totally do that, but I just think it's
Count the lines. Count the lines,
count
people.
the lines.
Count the lines. So yeah, that's the easiest way to look at. And then Rachel, I know that it shows how much carryover volume. So you can also see if you have carryover of 350, you're only 50 away from, well, if it shows 350 on one leg and then you have carryover of a lot more, but it's a 600-400 split. So I know that I have a power leg, and so I look at that, and then I look to see what my carryover is and how close I am to that next cycle. So if you look and you don't have any lines, what we want to teach you is to realize, okay, I'm 50 points away from cycling, and so I get someone to purchase a KG4, somewhere in my organization or a customer, that's going to get me at 400. Mm-hmm. Rachel, any other tips?
Yeah, and it's just always looking every single day and just trying to push to the next cycle. So you're going to notice, and we're going to go through the tiles in a little while and talk about something else, but you're going to notice, you have your active tile, you'll have your your PVQ, your personal, right? Qualifying volume, and then you have your customer volume. That's the first line, and then you have your second line that's going to show like your left CV, and then it's going to show your carryover volume, like Rachele just said. And then in the last tile, in the second row, is going to be all of it added together. And that is where you're going to either pull your 400 or your 600 for. And then you have the next row, which is going to be your right side, whatever the weekly is, whatever the carryover is, then that's going to be added together into the last tile. So that's where you're going to pull either the 400 or the 600. So whatever's greater, you're going to take 600 from. Some of you have $100,000 in rollover volume. So you always know that that's where you're taking 600 from. So you're just going to look at the lesser volume cumulative with the rollover, and you're going to divide that by 400. So if you had 650 there, then you can only take 400 out. That 150 is going to roll into the next week.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me because I have that one leg, like what Rachel said, that it's banking that volume. And I think it's Rachel, we don't have this in the notes, but to reiterate the value of banking volume.
Right.
We have several people in our team that continued. The way that you bank volume is that you stay active with your 140 in PV, personal volume. That can be from customers, but we recommend that that's from your purchase because you're using a bottle a month by yourself. But when you do that, many companies, I know the first company that I was with, at the end of the month, it all flushed. It didn't matter. It all went to zero. But here, whenever you have that $140, the volume just banks. And so I know I didn't ask for their permission. I wish I would have, but I know I had 2 people that one cycled 5 times, one cycled 4 times because they had that banked volume, and something just popped this week. And so the last week, so all of a sudden, because they had stayed active, they suddenly cycled 5 and 4 times, which in Rachel and I's first company, that wasn't even an option. It didn't matter if you were active. It flushed to zero. Where here, as long as you remain active, so I know on my power leg, I don't know how much I have banked, but suddenly I could cycle 100, I think maybe 100 times, maybe that's exaggerated, 50, and match all that volume that's banked just by me staying active. I'm trying to look at the question.
Yeah, and so Rachele, if you were active all those weeks and that volume just keeps accumulating, and the reason she wouldn't be cycling every single week is because she may not be a promoter, right? So you have to be a promoter in order to earn cycles. So let's say you just had one active person on your right and you didn't really have an active person on your left, or the person on your left that was active is no longer active. You just really have one person. You won't earn cycles for the week, but because you're active, that volume just keeps banking and banking and banking, and then all of a sudden you replace that left person that was active, or that active person reactivates and becomes active again. Then all of a sudden, all those cycles from all that banked volume will all of a sudden generate. And we had Nicole on here who had that happen, and she earned this past week 5 cycles because of the rollover volume. Because she got back to promoter.
That's right. And so we have somebody else. I'm just going to say I don't think she'll care. I think she'll be happy. Linda Laporte is one, and Debbie Meeks is another. So that's 3 people that we know of that stayed active. They kept using the product. Being a product of the product is so critical. So they kept using the product, and then whenever they got that other person to become active, or even if they had 2 people, maybe someone just came on and lit that leg up on the pay leg is what I refer to it, on the pay leg, then suddenly they cycled. We have 2 examples of 5 times and 1 example of 4 times. That's a huge benefit that I can't reiterate enough. So the next thing that I have is our 90-day challenge. And I'm going to go through that. But before I go through, I want to give a shout out to life coach Kim Duncan. I know she was on here, but I don't see her right now. But we have so many people, I can't see everyone on my screen. Kim Duncan, if you were on our call on Saturday, Rachel and I were like, we're not very good at tracking the numbers. And Kim's like, I am. I know how to do a spreadsheet. So Kim has offered to track everyone's progression in this 90-day challenge. So for those of you that were in the 5 weeks to the top, if you haven't sent in your numbers yet, we only have 2 people that have sent in their numbers 5 weeks to the top. And I know there are more of you that have had activity in the last 2 weeks. The people that were in 5 weeks to the top, they got a running start on this challenge. But you can catch up, I promise.
Well, just know, you guys, it's like having a job and punching in a time clock. Like, if you don't punch in your time clock, you're not going to get a paycheck. So you need to turn in what you've done to Kim, and Rachele will tell you when. But it's your responsibility to turn it in on time so that she can keep track of those points. Because you guys, you're playing for cash.
Yes. So this is now a pinned post. So I want you to go in and read it. And if you have questions, I see a lot of people have already tagged. I posted about an hour ago. A lot of people have tagged their teams. But if you were in the 5 weeks, you got a 2-week running start, but you got to send us that by like Friday. Let's make a game rule. I'll put it in the post. We have to have that Friday because everybody else then starts on Saturday, and we have to have theirs by Monday. So I'm going to read basically how you get post, and there's money in the game, not only because you're enrolling new people for customers and distributors, you're going to get paid for that, but then we're adding additional fun money at Thanksgiving, which rolls into Christmas. So the official launch started Saturday for this week for everyone in Discover Your Potential. And here's how it works. So each week you're going to private message Kim Duncan with how many points you received for the challenge. I'm going to tell you about the points, and you can go back and read it again. If you have questions, put it in the comments and I will respond. You must send your info each week to Kim Duncan, and you have until Monday at 6 p.m. So all of you that were in the 5 weeks to the top, you have until Friday at 6 p.m. to send to Kim. We only have 2 people from the 2 weeks that you had a running start. I actually think you ended up getting 3 weeks because the official launch wasn't until this week. So for every 5 people that you invite with their permission to OPAR, that's one product, amazing results. For every 5 people, you get 1 point. So if you invite 10 people in a week, and this is on the honor system. Oh yeah, look, Rachel's got it right up there. Okay, so this is on the honor system. If you invite 10, you get 2 points. Then for every 5 new people that you invite to our bi-weekly live opportunity, you get 1 point. Again, this is on the honor system. And we're going to do our first opportunity call a week from Thursday, the Thursday after Labor Day. We still think this is time to build your funnel this next week. And a lot of people, their kids are in, they think summer is over, and they're ready to go after Labor Day. And we're going to be doing the opportunity in One Product Amazing Results. So everyone that you've added to that group, they're going to get a notification that we're doing a live and be able to see that. So we're not going to do that in a private group anymore where you have to invite and it gets kind of confusing, but it's going to be every other Thursday, the first and third Thursday in September and October. November dates, look for updates because we're not sure exactly which Thursday Thanksgiving falls on. It might be the 4th. So first and third, for every 5 people that you invite to that personally. So you just send them a private message and you say, hey, I know you're part of OPAR, or hey, I'd love to invite you to this to learn more about the gel. In order for me to do that, I need to invite you. You need to accept an invitation to One Product Amazing Results. If they're already in there, then you send them a message and say, hey, I know you're looking at the product. This opportunity is off the charts. And so we're going to be sharing more about it Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you give the breakdowns of the time. For every 5 people that you do that, you get 1 point. Then for every new customer that you get in a week, you get 3 points. On that, we're asking you the invitations to OPAR and the invitations to the opportunity. That's all honor. The new customers, we want you to send their name and you say 3 points. So I got Susie as a new enrollment, I got 3 points. I got John, I get 3 points. And then for every new distributor, you get 5 points. So it looks like this. So it says Susie invites 10 people to OPAR, she gets 10 points. She invites 5 people to the live opportunity, she gets 1. She enrolls 3 new customers, she gets 9. She enrolls 1 new distributor, she gets 5 points. So that total is 17 points. So by Monday at 6 p.m., you send to Kim Duncan in a private message and your name goes in the drawing that week. So you map out though where your points are coming from. Rachel, is that clear enough?
Yeah, and just make sure you guys know that every week the contest ends. Like she said, you're due to hand it in by Monday at 6 Eastern to Kim. But that's for the week going Friday midnight to Friday midnight. So if you enroll somebody that Saturday before the Monday you hand it in, that Saturday goes into the next week. We're just giving you the weekend just to kind of tally it up and hand it in. But just remember, it's Friday midnight to Friday midnight. Does that make sense?
Perfect. So for this week, so all of you that were in the 5 week to the top, you need to be looking at the last 3 weeks. And for all the people that are in Discover Your Potential and are just now joining us, your contest began on the 24th, this last Saturday, through the midnight on August 30th. And so that's the week that you're going to be sending. So just what Rachel said, if you sign up someone new on the 31st, that's for the following week. Mm-hmm. The reason that we talked a lot about this, and we talked about saying it needs to be done on Sunday so people aren't confused, or it needs to be done on Saturday. But we know everyone's worked hard through the week. If you're working a day job plus this, or even if you're working, I love a weekly because then you can kind of take a breath for, 24, 48 hours, kind of, and then get back on the game. I love that about a weekly pay system. And so that's why we decided to have you turn it in on Monday, but it's critical that you understand the weeks that it's for. So then you send it to Kim, and then did I update this correctly? On November 22nd, yes, November 22nd, because it's the 26th November 22nd, because November 28th is Thanksgiving. So on the 22nd, we're going to tally all the points. So each week we're going to do a drawing. So you've got to have those names in by Monday at 6. If you send them Monday at 9, you don't get in the drawing. It's over 48 hours from the close of business that we're asking for those. So then we're going to take those names and we'll do the drawing on this team Zoom. So we'll have 2 drawings, one for the cycle and one for the whoever just sends in that they got points. On this case, if you don't get any points, you don't need to send anything in and your name doesn't go in the drawing. So you can do it for the cycles. I don't have any cycles that I looked, but in this case, just for simplicity, the people that got points, their names will go into a drawing. But then on November 22nd, we will tally all those points and the grand prize gets $300 cash. Second place gets $200. Third place gets $100.
And should we announce that on the Zoom that's on that Tuesday, the following Tuesday after Friday when we tally it? 26th.
Yep, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and then you will have that money, Venmo or PayPal.
Friday, for Black Friday.
That's right. That's going to say by Black Friday, you got the money. And every week we're going to do a leadership board. Now, right now we have a first and second place people because we only have 2 people that have sent in the information. So they are like, woohoo, we are in first and second place. So, so that is, Rachel, do you see any questions in the chat as far as?
Let me get off my share of the page so I can see the questions.
Okay.
I think Jennifer Jobson is doing the questions right now.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah. What are the dates for the last one? The last week. So it ends on November 22nd, which is that Friday at midnight. That's the very last day. And then we're going to do the big drawing for all the cash on that.
No, it's not a drawing, though. It's not even a drawing.
Right, not a drawing. It's the top 3 people.
Yep. Yeah. From the points.
There'll be a drawing. Yeah. So that'll be on the 26th.
Yep. And then we want to reiterate, we talked about this on Saturday, and Danielle did a leadership call for coordinators and above last Thursday. So like 4 days ago, it feels like longer than that. But she talked about in this 90-day run that and we're walking right alongside her. That's why we waited. That's why 5 weeks to the top get an extra week. We waited to go side by side with her for the 90 days. But she really encourages accountability. We're not going to organize that because all the leaders on this call, we love you. This is the time we're going to come together. If you have a 3-way call that you need, you're going to reach out to us. We're going to do a 3-way call. And for the most part, we're prospecting and building ourselves. We're doing exactly what you're doing. So we're recommending that you create groups of 3 to 5 people for accountability for the next 90 days. And Rachel's going to share with you a few things that we recommend that you share. Obviously, it's your accountability group. And so whatever you see fit, you're the leaders of that. But we think it's really important and of great value to create an accountability group. So Rachel, with that, I'm going to pass over to you.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and share my page here. Can you see the action form, Michelle?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, good. All right, well, I think the contest is super, super exciting, and thank you for typing all that up and pinning that to our team group, and it's going to be awesome. And I don't know if you guys remember our action form. How many of you are still printing this out and utilizing this every single week in your business? Anybody? Okay. Well, it's kind of like writing down your goal, and I saw some of you actually wrote with a dry erase marker on your bathroom mirror and put a date by it, whatever your goal was, and an I am statement. There's just some kind of magic, and there's actually a book on it. Write it down, make it happen. Okay, it's just magical. And then also tracking your business. So it's kind of like if you were trying to lose weight, right? And you were exercising and you were watching your calories or watching your fat or watching your carbs or whatever diet you're on, you have to kind of keep track of everything so that you know where you're at, so you can kind of do and review every single week and go, this is where I need to put my focus. This is where I'm lacking. This is where I need to get better. I'm doing good in this area. I'm not doing so good in this area. You need to constantly reevaluate what is going on in your business, right? And if you're not keeping track at all, it's kind of like your finances, also your household finances. If you're just spending, 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 and then paying, 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 and you're not keeping track in your checkbook, it's going to be chaos. And the same thing is for your business. Okay, you guys, this is a multi-million-dollar business. And for those of you that were in Vegas, you know that to be true. And now you need to believe that it can happen to you. Okay, that could be like a Dr. Seuss rhyme right there. Okay, but it's true. And so this form right here can help you keep track, not only for the contest, right? It can also help guide you in your accountability groups. Okay, so you actually have some kind of format to go by when you meet every week. Okay, and it can help you grow your business. It can help you evaluate what's happening in your own business every single week. So what I would do is I would print this out. We're going on September 1st, okay? So now's a perfect time. Put September, put the year, put your name, okay? Grab your 3 to 5 accountability partners. Pick a specific day and time of the week that you guys are gonna get together. I would do it on Zoom. You don't have to share the screen or anything fancy like that, but just make sure you're filled out before you guys meet, or you can do it on the phone. Take turns going through your boxes and share what you've done or what you've not done. That's the beauty of accountability, right? You pick an accountability partner, you state your goal, and then you don't follow through, kind of makes you feel bad, okay? It kind of keeps you on track because you don't want to, you don't want to embarrass yourself because you told him you were going to do it and then you slacked, you didn't do it. Okay, so that's the beauty of accountability. Okay, so this is an awesome way. This is basically how you get paid in our business. Okay, this is the compensation plan right here in an activity form. So the very first thing that you do is you're going to have week 1. Okay, let's say you guys decide that you're going to meet on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Okay, and maybe one of you goes to freeconferencecall.com and you get yourself a free conference line so you can dial in there. Or maybe you just do a free Zoom account. That's really easy too. And just take turns going around. So if you enrolled 2 customers, you're going to put 2. Oh my gosh, am I writing on this? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so you're going to put the number 2 and you're going to put their names in there. Okay, and let's say you enrolled a distributor, you're going to put their name in there. And then give yourself the points that are allotted that Rachele put in the pinned post. Okay, so how many points are a customer? 3 per customer. Okay, so you would put Sally, you'd put 3 points, and then you put Mike, and you put 3 points, and then over here for distributors are 5 points, right? Yeah, so you would put John, you would put 5 points, and you would put Mark, and you would put 5 points, okay? And so then you would do that every single week in these 2 boxes. And then box number 3 is gonna help you with your cycle posts. So it's gonna get you into the habit, right? On Saturday or Sunday to go into your paycheck, click it, open it up so it breaks it down for you, count the lines, and you can put week 1, I earned 2 cycles. Okay, and then over here you can say, okay, week 1, I'm a promoter, but week 2, to my accountability partners, I'm going to shoot to get halfway to coordinator. Break it down into little pieces. That's a big jump from promoter to coordinator. So we do have a team rank. We call it elite. Okay, so that's 2,500 and 2,500 with 2 and 2. Okay, so call yourself an elite. Say I'm going to get to elite, or I'm going to get halfway to elite. Okay, maybe I'm just going to get 1,000 on both sides. So you can put promoter 1,000. Okay, I actually like that. Promoter 2,000, promoter 2,500, promoter 3,000 until you get to coordinator 5,000. Okay.
Rachele, I'm so glad you're talking to yourself. I actually like that. I was like,
I make things up as I go.
I muted, but I had to just say that's a good.
Okay, and so down here also, this is like reaching down to somebody on your team and going, what are your goals? How can I help you? Are you active? Yes. Okay, are you a promoter? Not yet. All right, your job this week is to go get one on the left and one on the right and make them active so you can get to promoter. Who are you helping? I'm helping Sally. Okay, so this is just a really great thing. And also you can flip it over to the back and you can put week 1, I've added how many people to OPAR. Week 1, I have invited this many people to our opportunity call. Okay, so this whole sheet, front and back, can help you track everything that you need. Okay, so you don't have it in sticky notes and 3 different notebooks like I do on my desk. Like, I'm a hot mess over here. So by printing out one sheet, it's just a really good way for you to track. Okay, and then when it's time to hand it into Kimberly, you can just type it up, or you can take a picture of it and send it into her. Okay, all right, so now let's talk about, a lot of you say, okay, well, I know I'm supposed to talk to people, and I know I'm supposed to sign people up, and I know I'm supposed to get people on OPAR. I know I'm supposed to post in OPAR. I know I'm supposed to invite people to opportunity. But really, like, what is my day supposed to look like when building this business? And you know what? You don't have a boss hovering over you. You're your own boss. So you need to put together your daily method of operation. So you know what that would be if it was a job where you had to go to an office and you had a boss? They would call that your job description. Okay, and so down here in this little box, this is kind of an idea. And then Rachele made a post in Discover Your Potential a couple of days ago with a lot of daily method of operation ideas as well. So the best thing that you want to do is go buy some of those bigger index cards and create your own daily method of operation according to the best way possible. You can fill out this sheet and earn the points for our contest. Not only will it help you earn cash for Black Friday, it's going to help you earn a trip to Mexico. It's going to help you rank advance and pick up extra levels in the compensation plan and increase your paycheck as well. And it's going to help you be that example for your team and help you to help your team. Okay, so this sheet is just so crucial for everything it is that we're talking about. Okay, so you're going to take that index card and you're going to create a daily method of operation. And the very first call that you're going to do with your accountability group is you're going to go around that call and you guys are going to read off your 6 things that you're committed to doing every single day to build your business. Okay, so for example, how many messages are you going to send out a day to invite people to take a look? It could be inviting them to our opportunity call on Thursday. It could be inviting them to take a look. You know, would it be, just give me a thumbs up if it's okay if I added you to our testimonial group so you can see what other people are saying about our incredible product. Just give me a thumbs up. That would be included on one of, you know, how many reach outs that you're doing per day. How many follow-ups? So how many people have you reached out last week to, or the week before, that you have on the list that you need to follow up with? They always say the fortune is in the follow-up, right? How many people quit after 1 or 2 times of reaching out to somebody because you're just afraid or embarrassed or you don't want to bother them? You know, the average person, it takes 7 to 12 exposures to say yes. And most of us quit after 2 times. Okay? And then posting on your personal wall, you want to post so they can get to know who you are. Because if and when they're interested in your product, they need to know that I want to do business with Cindy. She seems like a really nice lady. She seems awesome. She seems like she has a lot of heart. She seems like she loves people. So you know what? I'm really interested in a product. I'm really interested in building a business. And you know what? I want to do it with Cindy because she is awesome. So on your personal wall, you're going to show people who you are and what you're all about. You're going to post about your family. You're going to post scripture if that's what you're all about. You're going to post in something inspiring if that's what you're all about. You're going to post sunsets if you love sunsets. You're going to post about your dogs, your kids, things that you love. Okay? You're going to pour your heart out once or twice on Facebook. Be authentically you. And then on One Product Amazing Results, commit to adding new people there every single day, whatever that number is for you, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people. Probably wouldn't add any more than 10 people in there a day, okay? But also when you add them, if you don't post in there, you're not even doing a drip campaign, okay? So you want to add them, you want to send them the link so that they can find it easy, ask them to pin it to their shortcuts, okay? And then you want to start posting in there once or twice a day, so when they're scrolling on Facebook, it goes to their newsfeed. Okay, that is your drip campaign. That's like your TV commercial. That's like the Super Bowl when they have all those commercials, right, that they play, or the billboard that you drive by every single day, and then one day when it resonates with you, you call the number. That's what OPAR is all about, One Product Amazing Results. Okay, and then personal growth or plugging in. This is something, what are you going to commit to keep your mind strong? What book are you reading? What audio are you reading? What YouTube videos are you listening to on a daily basis when you're showering, cooking, driving in the car, exercising? Okay, and are you getting on the Monday night corporate calls? Are you plugging into our team calls every Tuesday night? Okay, are you plugging into our opportunity calls? Hey, if you don't have a guest on there, you need to learn how to present it one day. So you still want to show up to that, okay? So what are you committing to? And then Danielle, so we have Monday night is a phone call, okay, at 9 o'clock. Tuesday night is our Zoom at 9 o'clock. Wednesday night on the New You Life official team page in a live video, Rachele and all of her crew that's helping her, whoever is speaking for that week, on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, you're just going to go to that Facebook group, okay, and look in the news feed, refresh if you have to, but you're going to see the live pop up there. Okay, so those 3 nights are the most important things, and then the rest of the nights, go out with your family, relax, or use it for prospecting, okay, or catching up on some of the things that you missed.
Did
Okay?
you say the opportunity lives on Wednesday night or Thursday night?
So the opportunity, our opportunity is going to be the first and the third, but Danielle I saw is doing her 90-day run live videos on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern.
I misheard Rachele for Danielle. I know they kind of end
Kind of rhyme, yeah.
my ear.
Yep. Okay, and then Fridays. I always use Fridays, so I do follow up every day, but I go, 2 hours on follow-up Friday. Okay, and then Saturdays, maybe use that to connect with your team on Saturday mornings, catch up with them, because you guys, this is the time. A 90-day run is not the time to spend all your time talking to your existing people, okay? But Saturday mornings is a really good time to do that. Maybe spend 10 minutes with a couple of people on your team to touch base, or you can do that through the week too, but just don't spend an hour. Spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes catching up. How are you doing? Need any help? Anything happen that we need to talk through? Okay, but you're running just like they're running. This is the time for running. We're going to go back to a lot of coaching. We still coach once a week on this, and we still get coaching from Danielle, but we're going to go back to, more coaching over the holidays when people are distracted. That's when we do our coaching, right? Like in the summertime. Okay, now's the time to run. It's the biggest season of all of network marketing. Like the fall is the biggest. Take advantage of it. People are focused now. People are ready to run. So spend your time doing income producing activities, which is what we just talked about tonight. So I think that's all I have for this. Is there anything that you want to add to that, Rachele, before I flip over and go through the tiles real quick?
Nope. Tiles next. Do it, girl.
Okay. All right. Let me know if my screen changes. Let's see. Can you see it? Can you see tiles? Okay, awesome. All right, so I borrowed my friend Michelle's back office again. Look at this. Okay, she's not on here, and she's not actively building this business. She's one of my best friends. But would you look at this rollover volume because she's still active? Isn't that cool? All right, so if she went inactive, it would all disappear. So good thing she's still on the job. Okay, so what I wanted to just spend a minute talking to you guys about, there has been some confusion with a couple of people regarding if you were in Vegas, okay, and you bought a package and you saw, so let's say, we're going to use me for example, since Rachele sponsored me, okay, so I can go and I can look here at can you see my little thingy moving when I do this? Can you see okay, good. Okay, so look next to the active tile. Look next to your PQV. That's your personal qualifying volume. So if this was my tiles, and let's say I bought 2 gels at the conference special. The CV was 250 CV. That's my commissionable volume. That commissionable volume would go into Rachele's, I'm on her right side, so it would go into Rachele's right leg CV, okay? She would see she would not see the 500 QV that they gave us double QV, okay? So the CV, she'd see the 250 CV in the right leg CV, that's your commissionable volume. But if I looked at mine up here, but it would actually show up as 500 QV, because the QV, okay, rolls to your upline's 5-week roll, which is the 2 down here. The 5-week roll left and the 5-week roll right, whatever side it is that you're on of theirs. Okay, so the PQV is what qualifies you to be active. Okay, so let's go to our normal thing. Let's go to gel. So if I order a bottle of gel, I'm going to see 140 PQV. Rachelle's going to see it in her right side. It's going to go into her weekly right leg CV as 125. Okay, because the CV is different than the QV. And the 140 is going to go into a right rolling 5-week as 140. Okay, so sometimes you can go, gosh, my volume doesn't seem right because I looked at my downlines PQV and it was this number and that didn't get added into my weekly left or my weekly right. So I think the volume's wrong. And that happens a lot. And I know it is kind of confusing. And we're still trying to get them to break down the 5-week roll into weekly QV, because I think that would make it a little bit easier to see. And then also a cycle tile, so you don't have to go in your back office and see how many cycles you have. But does that make sense to you guys? You don't get paid on your own PQV unless it's over what you're supposed to have to be active. So if you're not yet a coach, you need 140 to be active. Anything more than 140 rolls into your your lesser volume 5-week roll. Okay, does that make sense? So once you're a coach, it needs to be 280. But we don't get paid on our own, but it doesn't make you qualified for a paycheck. Okay? And then your customer volume always goes into the lesser volume leg and CD. Okay? Anybody have any questions on that? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you do. I know it could be a little bit confusing. So your cycle is your weekly left and your weekly right CV. Okay, and then your QV is your 5-week roll. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Anybody have questions?
And Rachel, I was answering some questions. Thank you, Jen Jobson, for funneling those. And she was texting me. So I was answering some questions and trying to listen at the same time, I think. And so it's really a big discrepancy after the conference. Did you say that? I might have missed that. Did you say that?
It is, because they doubled our QV. So your CV is like, say for the 2 gels, your CV was only 250, which is still really good because they doubled your QV. So you're seeing 500 like in your personal qualifying volume, and then you're only seeing 250 transfer, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, but it's totally accurate because they actually gifted us by giving us double the QV to help us promote.
Yes, because each time, even though that qualifying volume, the commissionable volume is not the same because of the conference, that qualifying volume for, say you promote from coordinator to coach or from promoter to coordinator, now you're getting a check match. You promote from coordinator to coach, now you've gone from $40 to $60 in cycles, and you get another generation of check match. So that was their goal, was to infuse qualifying volume to help us promote to that next level. And that's where the additional income would come from, by qualifying for that rank.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other questions? Cindy?
So your personal qualifying volume goes straight to your team leg, right?
So anything over what is required for you to be active will automatically roll into your lesser volume qualifying, your lesser volume leg.
Okay.
In qualifying volume.
Okay.
For the 5-week roll.
Okay. And your personal, thank you. And your personal customer volume would go into your personal leg?
Your lesser volume leg.
Oh, okay. All right. Which is probably usually your, well, I guess you don't always.
It's different for everybody. Whatever is showing less. So like you can see here, you can see that her left leg has lesser volume. So this is her lesser volume leg. Her right leg is her greater volume leg. So let's say she had 1,000 here in the personal customer volume. That $1,000 would be in here.
Okay.
And she'd get paid cycles on it.
Okay. And I asked this, but I'm not sure what. So, I'll ask you in person. It's not. It has nothing. It has to do with this, but it doesn't. Let's see. I'm still a little confused on the 5-week rolling. I feel like I shouldn't be,
Okay.
but I am. The carryover to the.
Yeah, so these are two separate things. And that's what makes it confusing, because you feel like if you could take this and add it, add your 5 weeks of CV, if it would add, it won't add properly, because the QV is always higher than the CV. Okay, so the CV is what you get paid on. Okay, that's your cycles. Okay, so so if it were a bottle of gel for a distributor, CV would be 125 for a bottle of gel. The QV goes into the 5-week roll, 140.
Oh.
Okay, and so it's two different. Every product has a different value. So actually, I think they put a sheet, unless I dreamt it, possible with the gel, but I think they have a sheet with columns that have the point value, so the cost, the CV value of each product and package. Do they have that, or did I dream that?
I don't know.
And then the QV value of every product and package. And if they don't, I'm going to make one tomorrow.
Because there's one somewhere. There is one somewhere, because I've seen it.
You've seen it. I thought I saw it, because I know we have it in another company. Yeah.
One thing that has helped me just to differentiate the QV and the CV is just like the way you described it, Rachel. The CV is the commissionable volume. It's what you're going to get paid on.
In the
cycle. And that is separate for cycles. And that is separate from the QV, which is qualifying volume. And it's always going to be higher for the products. And that is what qualifies you for rank.
Yes, exactly. So I'm glad. It's so nice to hear it in multiple different ways.
Right.
So that you have to hear it sometimes 10 different, 20 different ways at different times to go, oh, I get it. So just remember, I'm going to say it one more time. Every product has a different CV value, which is your commissionable volume, like Jen just said. That's the volume that you see in your weekly left leg CV and your weekly right CV. That's what goes into the binary tree that they pull 400 and 600 from. That's your commissionable volume. Okay, that commissionable volume is going to always be lower than your qualifying volume, because the qualifying volume value of every product is going to be higher. So that goes into your 5-week roll. They count 5 weeks, and that's what makes up these numbers. So in reality, if you're trying to go coordinator and you need 5,000 in a 5-week roll on your left and 5,000 in a 5-week roll on your right, if you divide that by 5 weeks, that's 1,000 in qualifying volume per week, right? That equals to 5,000 on each side, along with having your 2 personally enrolled on your left and 2 personally enrolled on your right that are active as distributors. Okay, and so that's what you're going to look for. And then after the 5 weeks, so 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, then week 6 comes around and it drops the 1,000. So week 6, hopefully you have like 1,500. So you want to start replacing the weeks that drop with weeks that are higher. Weeks that drop with weeks that are higher. So that's how your 5-week roll is going to keep increasing and increasing and increasing. So every week you can say, I just want to increase by $100. So maybe you have 200 and 200. Then next week you're going to shoot for 300 and 300. And then the week after, 400 and 400. And then after you do that for a couple of months and you really focus on that, you have auto ships that come in on top of the new enrollments. Then you have more auto ships coming in on top of new enrollments, more people doing more things. So it'll start growing more. The hardest part in the business is going from associate to coordinator. I think that takes the most effort because it starts with just you, and it takes the longest time. Once you get a couple of partners under your belt and some product users, and then you start duplicating, the name of the game is always duplicating, Next thing you know, you're going to go from coordinator to coach, coach to life coach, and it's just going to keep going from there.
Thank you. And thank you too, Jen, both of you.
All right.
You get it more.
Anything that you'd like to add, Rachele, or should I go ahead and stop the recording? We'll let everybody go. Okay. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I'll get this recording up tomorrow, and if you want to rewatch it or pass it along to somebody who missed tonight, that would be awesome. And then we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, on the NewL official team page on Facebook. Look for the live video and the discussion, and then we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.